Imagine having the chance to buy Netflix for just $50 million. Now imagine saying no. At the time, Netflix was a struggling startup trying to survive. The company that rejected the offer was Blockbuster, the king of movie rentals. A decade later, Netflix would transform entertainment forever, while Blockbuster disappeared. This is the incredible story of how one small startup changed the world. Hello everyone, I'm Ethan Cole and welcome back to the channel. Today we're exploring another fascinating story from the world of business, technology, innovation, and entrepreneurship. We'll uncover the decisions, risks, failures, and breakthroughs that shaped one of the most remarkable journeys in modern history. So sit back, relax, and let's begin. To understand Netflix, we need to go back to the 1990 seconds. Back then, watching a movie at home wasn't simple. People drove to video rental stores, browsed shelves, picked a movie, waited in line, then returned it before the due date. Forget to return it? You paid a late fee. Those late fees frustrated millions of customers. Rental companies generated huge profits from penalties. The system worked well for businesses, but not for customers. And every great business opportunity begins with a customer problem. One entrepreneur noticed the problem. His name was Reed Hastings, a software entrepreneur with a passion for innovation. Instead of accepting the status quo, he began searching for a better way. In 1997, a new technology was gaining popularity. DVDs. Unlike VHS tapes, DVDs were smaller, lighter, and easier to ship. That sparked an idea. What if movies could be rented online and delivered by mail? In 1997, Netflix was officially founded. The company began with a simple website and a small catalog of DVDs. Customers could order online and receive movies by mail. The idea sounded unusual. Many doubted it would work. Building Netflix wasn't easy. Internet shopping was still new. Consumers were cautious. Marketing budgets were small. Cash was limited. Every day was a fight for survival. Instead of focusing on competitors, Netflix focused on customers. The company constantly improved convenience, better recommendations, faster delivery, a simpler experience. Customers began noticing the difference. Then Netflix made a decision that would change everything. Instead of charging customers for every rental, the company introduced a monthly subscription. Unlimited rentals, no due dates, no late fees. Customers loved it. Meanwhile, Blockbuster ruled the industry. Thousands of stores, millions of customers, billions in revenue. Executives saw Netflix as a tiny competitor with little chance of success. As customers embraced the subscription model, Netflix grew rapidly. Distribution centers expanded, delivery times improved, customer satisfaction increased, momentum was building. At the same time, the internet was transforming the world. More households gained online access. E-commerce expanded. Consumer behavior changed. Netflix found itself perfectly positioned for the future. But growth required money. Netflix invested heavily in infrastructure, technology, and logistics. The company was expanding, yet profitability remained uncertain. Investors watched closely. By the year 2000, Netflix had built a promising business, but danger was approaching. The dot-com bubble was about to burst, and one meeting would change business history forever. In the year 2000, Netflix was facing serious challenges. Growth was slowing. Investors were cautious. The company needed help. So Netflix approached Blockbuster with a proposal. The offer was simple: buy Netflix for $50 million. At the time, Blockbuster was the king of movie rentals. Executives believed Netflix was too small to matter. The offer was rejected. Few realized they had just passed on one of the greatest opportunities in business history. Blockbuster dominated the market. More than 9,000 stores, millions of loyal customers, billions in annual revenue. From their perspective, Netflix looked insignificant. Why worry about a startup mailing DVDs? Then disaster struck. The dot-com bubble burst. Technology stocks collapsed, investors panicked, hundreds of internet companies disappeared almost overnight. Netflix suddenly found itself fighting for survival. Many startups vanished, Netflix did not. The company focused on operational efficiency, expenses were reduced, processes improved. Most importantly, customers continued using the service. That loyalty kept Netflix alive. Netflix continued improving its business. More distribution centers opened. Delivery times became faster. Customer satisfaction increased. The experience became more convenient than ever before. Netflix also discovered something valuable: customer data. Every rental revealed preferences. Every rating revealed interests. The company began learning exactly what customers enjoyed watching. Netflix invested heavily in recommendations. Instead of forcing customers to search endlessly, Netflix suggested movies they were likely to enjoy. This increased engagement and customer satisfaction. It became one of Netflix's greatest advantages. Eventually, Blockbuster noticed Netflix's growth. The giant finally launched its own DVD by mail service. For the first time, Netflix faced direct competition from the industry's biggest player. But Blockbuster faced a major problem. Its stores generated enormous profits, especially from late fees. Moving customers online threatened its existing business. The company was trapped between the future and the past. While Blockbuster debated, Netflix executed. The startup improved technology, expanded operations, enhanced customer experience, and continued growing. Speed became a competitive advantage. By the mid-2000s, another transformation was beginning. Internet speeds were improving. Broadband adoption was growing. Digital media was becoming practical. Netflix leadership saw something others missed. Physical DVDs would not last forever. A radical question emerged. What if movies never needed to be shipped? What if customers could simply click and watch instantly? The idea sounded impossible to many people, but Netflix believed the future was digital. In 2007, Netflix launched streaming. The company was effectively betting against its own successful DVD business. It was a risky move, but great companies often disrupt themselves before someone else does. Many people doubted streaming. Internet connections were still limited, content libraries were small, profits were uncertain, yet Netflix continued investing. The company was building for the future. Customers quickly embraced convenience. No shipping, no waiting, no returns. Entertainment became instant. Streaming usage began climbing rapidly. While Netflix looked ahead, Blockbuster struggled to adapt. Stores became expensive. Debt increased. Consumer habits changed. The giant that once dominated the industry was losing ground. The battle was nearly over. Netflix had survived the dot-com crash, defeated larger competitors, and successfully entered the streaming era. But its biggest transformation was still ahead. The company was about to become far more than a distributor of entertainment. It was about to become a creator. Streaming was growing rapidly. Subscribers were increasing. Investors were optimistic. But Netflix faced a dangerous problem. The company didn't own most of its content. Movies and television shows belonged to studios. Those studios could remove their content at any time. Netflix's future depended on assets it did not control. Netflix leadership realized something important. To secure its future, the company needed more than technology. It needed content, original content, shows and movies that belonged exclusively to Netflix. The decision required billions of dollars in investment. It was one of the biggest risks in the company's history. For years, Netflix distributed entertainment. Now it would create entertainment. The move shocked many industry experts. How could a technology company compete with Hollywood studios that had decades of experience? In 2013, Netflix launched one of its most important projects, House of Cards. The company invested heavily in production quality. The gamble paid off. The series became a massive success and proved Netflix could create world-class content. Then Netflix introduced another revolutionary idea. Entire seasons released at once. No waiting a week for the next episode. Viewers could watch whenever they wanted. The age of binge-watching had arrived. Netflix wasn't guessing what viewers wanted. The company studied viewing habits, preferences, and engagement patterns. Data helped Netflix decide what content to produce and recommend. Technology became a creative advantage. Netflix's ambitions extended far beyond America. The company expanded into Europe, Asia, Latin America, and eventually more than 190 countries worldwide. A small DVD startup had become a global platform. Netflix understood that global success required local stories. The company invested in content from different cultures and languages. Viewers in each country wanted stories they could connect with. This strategy accelerated growth around the world. Netflix's success inspired competitors. Major media companies launched their own streaming platforms. Suddenly, Netflix was no longer alone. A new battle had begun. The streaming wars. Powerful competitors entered the market. Disney launched Disney+. Amazon expanded Prime Video. Traditional media companies entered streaming. Competition intensified like never before. As competitors launched their own services, they began removing content from Netflix. Popular shows and movies disappeared. The strategy was clear. Every company wanted exclusive content. Netflix needed even more originals. Netflix responded aggressively. The company invested billions of dollars every year creating movies and series. Some projects succeeded, others failed. But the overall strategy strengthened Netflix's position. Some projects succeeded, others failed. But the overall strategy strengthened Netflix's position. Growth wasn't always smooth. Content costs increased. Subscriber growth slowed in some markets. Critics questioned whether Netflix could maintain its momentum. The company faced pressure from investors and competitors alike. Instead of standing still, Netflix adapted. Advertising-supported plans were introduced. Password-sharing policies changed. New revenue opportunities emerged. Once again, the company evolved with the market. Today, Netflix continues exploring new opportunities: artificial intelligence, gaming, interactive experiences, advanced recommendations. The company remains focused on innovation, because in business, standing still is often the fastest path to failure. The first lesson from Netflix is simple: solve a real customer problem. Netflix removed late fees, improved convenience, and created a better experience. Customers rewarded the company for it. Second, Be willing to disrupt yourself. Netflix replaced its DVD business with streaming before competitors could do it. The company sacrificed short-term comfort for long-term success. Third, think years ahead. Most companies react to change. Netflix anticipated it. That vision created opportunities others failed to see. Netflix began as a small startup mailing DVDs to customers. It survived economic crashes, defeated industry giants, reinvented itself multiple times, and transformed how billions of people consume entertainment. Its journey proves that size does not guarantee success. Innovation does. The story we've explored today offers valuable lessons about business, innovation, leadership, and long-term thinking. Success rarely happens overnight. It takes a long-term vision. Behind every great company are years of challenges, failures, and difficult decisions. If you enjoyed this documentary and would like to see more stories about successful companies, entrepreneurs, investing, and business strategy, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and click the notification bell. It helps us continue creating in-depth documentaries like this one. I'm Ethan Cole. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next story.